we became aware of this incident last week when Drake, also known by his real name, Aubrey Graham, was seen out at a social event with a number of other individuals. He was wearing a Support Hells Angels t-shirt. And that was sent to us as the provincial gang unit here in British Columbia. Many of us here saw that and expressed some concerns. Individuals like that, they have millions of people who follow them. They have substantial influence, whether it's on social media or the various platforms they have. We like to think that people can be better than that. So, people like him have influence on young people's decisions. And part of the role that we have here in British Columbia is to prevent and educate people from getting into gang activity. And we all know that the Hells Angels are a worldwide criminal organization. Many of them are behind things like murders and significant drug trafficking. And it was just today in Alberta where it was announced that Hells Angels and their supporters were arrested and charged with multiple drug trafficking offenses. So this is something that's in the news every day. And it's a bit disheartening to see an individual who has been dubbed by many as an ambassador of Canada, certainly the city of Toronto and the Toronto Raptors, wearing a t-shirt that supports a criminal organization. And many people will think that it is just a t-shirt. And that's exactly what the Hells Angels want us to think, because the funds from the sales of all of their t-shirts and their worldwide brand enterprise goes to fund their criminal defense for when they're charged with things like murder and drug trafficking and other criminal offenses. They've been able to exist and thrive on a sympathetic public over the last number of decades. And what they want more than anything is for people to think that the police are picking on them. They want people to think that they're not criminals. And they love it when individuals like Drake or others wear their clothing thinking that it's no big deal. But in aggregate, and when we look at the social influence that people like Drake or Mr. Graham has, that's where the concern for us lies. Because, even in his song God's Plan, it mentions the Hells Angels. My children have talked about it and asked me what that means. And I know many other people are probably have heard their lyrics and wondering what that means. And the Hells Angels want that to happen. And that's how they're going to be able to succeed in our society. Certainly I'd like him to acknowledge that he made a mistake and that he can make better choices. And then if the conversation continued past that, I'd love to be able to work with him, who has, significant influence again, to promote a message of gang prevention, of that our societies don't stand for violence, and that we want to make our future and, quite frankly, Canada a better place without criminal organizations.